Mike wants to start his own online business and become a millionaire. He wants the expensive cars, the $100,000 watches, the fancy beach vacations, the Dubai parties and the private jets. Mike goes to university, but he doesn't really care about his studies. He knows it won't get him the life that he wants. On social media, he constantly sees those guys in their early 20s showing him a life of complete freedom and of abundance. One day, Mike stumbled upon a YouTube video titled "How to Make $10,000 in 90 days with Dropshipping." So of course, when Mike sees this, he's intrigued. He has to click on the video and watch it till the end. A guy explains to Mike how he started his own dropshipping business. And yes, he's going to share with Mike how he can do the same. Mike is thrilled. Yes, I will finally be able to quit university and make $10,000 a month. All of my friends will be jealous. The next day, Mike is back at his student accommodation after falling asleep in the middle of a lecture. He decides to go on Shopify.com and open up his own dropshipping store. He finds a winning product and then launches some Facebook ad campaigns. He's finally going to become a millionaire. Everyone will admire him and respect him. But then things don't go as expected. Facebook ads quickly eat up $500 and yet still no sales. 30 minutes later, Mike receives a notification from Facebook telling him his ad account has been shut down because it's against Facebook's policy. And that is when Mike realizes that maybe dropshipping isn't as easy as it looks after all. So let's be honest, you are probably in the same position that Mike is in. You want to start an online dropshipping business because you want to get rich. After all, it looks easy. All you need to do is to find a winning product by stealing it from the competition, launch some Facebook ad campaigns for $10 to $50 a day, and the sales are going to be rolling in. Soon you'll be a multi-millionaire. Well, not so fast. Now, we've probably never met before, so why should you even listen to a guy with less than 2k YouTube subscribers? A few years ago, I was probably where you are right now. I was completely broke and depressed. I had started many dropshipping businesses and other type of online businesses, and they all failed. I felt hopeless. Fast forward to today, I'm now running a profitable online business and living a life I could have only ever dreamed of. This is why my goal with this video is to show you the truth on dropshipping and share with you exactly what I did to turn my life around completely. I'm confident that if you watch this video until the end and you take some notes, your life will never be the same. Now, the first time I started a dropshipping business was when I was in high school. With my best friend at the time, we saw all those guys on social media saying that they became multi-millionaires in their early 20s because they started a dropshipping business. You know, that's back then when everyone and their mother was making videos on dropshipping or starting a dropshipping store. So naturally we saw that and we wanted in. After all, it looked like an easy business model. We didn't have to show our faces, we could work on the side after school, we wouldn't need to keep any inventory, the manufacturer would take care of sending the products to the consumer directly. So we only really needed to find a winning product, to build the Shopify store, and then come up with some money to invest it in Facebook ads. But that was pretty much it. So we thought, why not give it a try? We spent weeks finding a winning product, which is basically a cool, trendy product. Then we built a Shopify store, which would take usually around a week, and then we'd make some Facebook ad campaigns and launch them. So it was a couple years ago, during a summer evening around 8 p.m, I finished dinner with my parents, then I come back to my room, and I noticed on my phone dozens of WhatsApp notifications from my best friend. He was going full-blown crazy because we had gotten our first sale ever. It was around $55 for some kind of mop. And so naturally, I can't even believe it myself. So I open up my laptop and I go on Shopify.com, and there I see it on the dashboard. It's staring at me. One person bought the product. And the crazy part is that all of this happened 30 minutes after we launched the Facebook ad campaign. And that is when I realized you can actually make money online. You can sell products or services and you can get paid in exchange. Because before, I had only ever heard people making money online. I had only ever seen videos of people with successful online businesses, but I hadn't experienced it myself. And until you get to experience it yourself, until you make your first sale, most likely you will still have a bit of skepticism in the back of your mind. You know, this voice that says, what if it's too good to be true? What if they got lucky? What if they could do it but I can't for some reason? Now, of course, as you can guess, I would not be making this video today if everything had been fine and that dropshipping business ended up being a success. So what happened? We started to spend more and more money on Facebook ads, but Facebook would just eat up our ad budget and we wouldn't get any sales. So in the end, we just lost money. We didn't make a profit. Something that would also happen is that we would spend weeks finding a winning product, building a Shopify store, setting up the ad campaigns, and then when came the time to actually launch the ad campaign, guess what? We were blocked for no reason. Because I'll tell you one thing, payment processors app like Stripe or PayPal, or even advertising platforms like especially Facebook, they hate dropshippers. Because during the whole dropshipping craze on the internet, like I said, everyone and their grandmother starting an online dropshipping store. But plenty of people actually scammed other people. They didn't didn't send the products, they sold crappy products. And so now everyone turned against the dropshippers. Big influencers made videos talking about the scams of dropshipping. Now there are two ways that you can go about doing dropshipping. The first way is the winning product strategy. Like I said, it's when you find a cool, a trendy product and then you resell that product for a higher price. Usually it's going to be sourced on AliExpress or Wish. And how do you find that product? Most of the time by spying on the competition. We'd go to the Facebook ads library and we would find the Shopify stores advertising new, cool, trendy products. We even used some Chrome extensions to help us find winning products. Now the flaws of this strategy is that you're not actually building a long-term brand. You're most of the time selling trendy products, seasonal products. So this means that you'll have a spike in your revenue, but then as the trend fades, then you make no money. The business dies completely. So now you have to find yet another winning product and start yet another store. And each time you start a new store, it comes with a lot of risk. It's easier to grow a store which is already successful as opposed to starting one from scratch entirely. Because when you have a successful store, you have a customer base. So it's about finding more customers and growing your brand. So you already have momentum. And then of course there's high competition. Plenty of people got started, but in the end, those who really became rich, it's Shopify. Because whenever you want to close the store, you need to pay a certain amount. Now the other way to do dropshipping, it was with SEO. For instance, you would make videos on TikTok, on YouTube, and you would promote your products that way. The downsides of this approach is that it takes a long time to be noticed. At the time I'm recording this video, we don't even have 2K subs on this YouTube channel. You might see those kids on TikTok making millions of dollars, having hundreds of millions of views and followers, but in reality, you're seeing the exception, not the norm. Most people don't make it big. And in fact, if you want an actual statistic, to be in the top 1% on YouTube, you only need 95,000 subs. So naturally, this means that most YouTube channels will forever stay below that mark. And in fact, most channels will never even surpass 1,000 subs. Now let's talk about the never-ending problems that come with dropshipping. First, you can encounter many problems with manufacturers. Communication issues. If you speak English and they're Chinese or Japanese, sometimes they don't have the best English. It's hard to understand them. So this can lead to miscommunication problems. They can send you the wrong orders in the wrong quantities. And now to fix that, good luck. And then you would have to deal with out-of-stock items, which honestly, it happens more frequently than you would think, especially when you're selling trendy, cool products. And something that happened to a couple dropshippers I knew is that they would have a profitable store, but because the manufacturer would see that there was such a high sales volume for this specific item, they shut down the store and they started to sell the product themselves. So they stole their idea and now they had to refund thousands of people because they couldn't find the product elsewhere. So not only as a business, you lose money on every refund, but payment processors app like Stripe or PayPal, they are not going to like that. The more disputes and refunds you have, the less they are willing to work with you. They'll block your funds for longer. They will ask you for more documents to verify that you're a legit business. And especially when you're doing dropshipping, if your funds are frozen for like 90 days or 6 months, I'm sure you can imagine what a nightmare scenario it is. Because you need that money to buy the products to then ship out the orders to the customers. So if your money is frozen, you can't do anything. Not to mention that you would have to deal with many unsatisfied customers. I mean, typically the cheaper the product or the services, the more people will complain. I'm not even kidding you. It's the people who pay the least amount of money who will bother you the most. And it's also the same people who are the least committed. And that is why at Consulting Fastlane, we only offer mid to high ticket services. And then you've got to realize that with all the competition, all the people selling crappy products on crappy websites, with Wish, with AliExpress, with Amazon, people are way less likely to buy from you. Because if you're sending something which comes from China, you get it from AliExpress, people have to wait even just, let's say, a week. They could buy that same item on Amazon for half the price and get it the next day. So why would they buy from you? Before you start any kind of business, before you sell anything, ask yourself, why would people buy from me instead of buying from the competition? Now the other con is that you would need a high amount of money to start that business. But not only that, monthly recurring costs are high. For instance, for the ads, for the products, for the softwares. So to really start that business and to get a chance at being profitable with it, you would at the very least need a couple $1,000s. And let's not even speak about the delivery problems. I mean, we've seen it with the recent lockdowns all over the world. Plenty of dropshipping businesses just died. So if dropshipping doesn't work, what works instead? Building a real long-term e-commerce brand. You see, the thing is that dropshipping works because it's only a fulfillment method. It's not a business model per se. However, to say that it is meant for beginners and that it's easy to start, that you can start it without much money, it is a complete lie. And that is why most people failed at dropshipping, and the only ones who truly won, it's Shopify. Now to give you an example, Bear Performance Nutrition is a fitness supplement brand created by Nick Bear, and it took them 4 years to get to only $20,000 a year in revenue. That's not even profit. And now of course they're in the dozens of millions of dollars per year, but that's only because the guy has an insane work ethic. Most companies will never never reach that level. Keep that in mind. So when you want to start your own online business because you want a life of freedom and of abundance, you need to ask yourself one question. Would I rather sell services or products? And I'll tell you this, 99% of the time, it's going to be more beneficial to sell services as opposed to products. The reason being, with a service, they don't need to be manufactured, they don't need to be shipped, and typically you can charge a higher price, so you get to make more money from less customers. Because if you sold a physical product, you would need hundreds, if not thousands of new customers every month to make a nice amount of profit. With a service, however, if you do, let's say, lead generation, you price it at $2,000 a month. With 5 customers only, you are making $10,000 a month already. And having to deal with 5 customers is much easier than with 100 or 1,000 customers. Now, I can't go too in depth in this video because it will be 5 hours long, but if you want to figure out what is the best online business to start, I've recorded a free video in which I'm going to analyze every popular online business model. Together, we'll take a look at the pros, at the cons, and I'm also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can use to start your business literally today and get your first customers as quickly as possible. The link is in the description below.